Hi, everyone. This is Kelly Fullick with Sarasota Spotlight here to welcome you, Teddy Tsposito. And Teddy Tsposito is with Home Security Systems Guardian Protection. So, good morning, Teddy. How are we doing this morning?
Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing
Um,
well, sir. I'm doing well. A lot of the times we're working with people here in Florida, this is not a primary residence. So I feel like even with a primary or secondary home residence, I think home security is pretty important, especially to keep an eye on your property while you're not there. I'm going to just open up the floor for you to talk about what type of home security systems you offer and what maybe is the most popular one that you offer that people go for.
so you're 100% right. Like it's peace of mind when you're not home, right? Whether you live here or not, whether you're here for 6 months or 6 days. When you're not here, you're always going to worry about here, right? It's if it's not somebody breaking into the house, it's the other things. And so home security's kind of come a long way where we bring into the fold the automation piece, right? So thermostats, temperature controls, heat sensors, water shutoffs, water sensors, all that tie in together with your home security. So if there was a problem in the house and you got an alert and you're in, I don't know, Michigan, you can unlock your door for a service provider to come out and take care of what needs to get taken care of. And then your system automatically brings everything back online to give you that reassurance. Um, as far as most popular, it's, the automation stuff has really taken off. Cameras, will always, I don't think they'll ever, not be important, but um, door sensors, motion detectors, even our panel is, has glass break detection built into it. And for a softer look, it has uh, a photo frame, right? So you can upload photos to it and kind of make it a little softer in your house, so you're not looking at a mechanical device. Um,
Um, okay.
so
And now I did notice that when I was looking up on your website, guardianprotection.com, is that correct?
yep.
When I was on there earlier, I noticed that even your camera detections, like motion sensor items, have AI technology in them now. So you're not getting alerted for, like, the raccoon that's scurrying across, or maybe something that's not as important, like a neighbor just driving home and there's a car that just passes your front driveway. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It just kind of got rolled out this past month. Um, some people do want to get alerted to when an alligator's in their
Sure,
backyard or
I
something,
would.
so they can show their friends. And um, AI is huge, especially like for our businesses or even homes, where if your business is closed, for example, it will tell this the software built into the camera will tell that the person wearing a purple shirt after hours, it'll, sir, you in the purple shirt, business is closed, please come back at another time. And that's all built into it. It's pretty wild.
It has a
um
response system.
yes, yes.
Oh,
um,
wow. Okay. That's
so
crazy.
that's the AI deterrent piece of it. The regular analytics built into it, motion detection. um, it has familiarity with, like, say, your car, right? You
Yeah.
don't need to get an alert every time your vehicle pulls in your driveway. It has software built into it where it'll start recognizing your vehicle and kind of ignoring it.
Oh,
um, so you're not getting motion alerts that are unnecessary. But it will tell you if it's a person or a thing. It's not going to give you a motion alert every time the palm trees swaying in the wind, stuff like that, where, it can kind of get annoying. But the AI portion of things is starting to really take off, which is really cool. Our cameras are, listen, cameras are great, um, but it should be your camera, right? Like you're the only one that's going to have access to it.
Right. Okay.
Um, so our cameras have built into them. The way I easiest to describe your banking app, for instance, is 126-bit encryption.
Okay.
Our cameras are double what your banking app encryption is, right? So security first. Um, we've never been hacked. Um,
Good.
you know,
I know,
knock on
I
wood.
know you have interior cameras just like I do as well. So it does kind of put you off a little bit putting something inside your home that can easily be hacked.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so all our servers are based here in the US. Um, and they're secure, right? So I think it makes a bit of big difference.
Sure. And then as far as like, um, so for being a realtor, when I'm working with my clients, either future or past, most of the time, the question comes up for hurricanes,
Hmm.
and a lot of the times they're hesitant to leave, or they want to leave but they're not sure of like who's going to take care of their property afterwards. And I feel like having both, somebody that's like on site that can actually give you a video tour of whatever is going on with the outside of your property, which I call home checks. So I
Yep.
do hurricane home checks for all my past clients, and then any friends that also want this service. And it's not something I charge people. It's just, I'm going to go there, I'm going to just take a video of the outside of your home. I'm going to send you that video. Maybe we're FaceTiming while we do that as well, if that's an option that we have. But for home security, I have noticed that there's a lot more of my clients who are buying different company brands. One of them in particular came recommended, but when you're looking at the reviews, it doesn't really seem so clear that that might be the best choice for them. So I'm wondering, how's your business able to stay competitive with other brands that might not be so um, integrated into what you offer?
So weather, right? It's huge down here. I moved down here right before Ian, right?
Oh, okay.
So our panel it doesn't matter where you live, it's going to send you a severe weather notification to just kind of let you know there's weather approaching, right? Um, where the system is. So if you live outside of Florida, or I don't know, you're on vacation, you're going to know that a weather system is coming. And if power goes out, it'll also alert you that power went out at your home.
Okay.
It'll also tell you when power came back on, right? So everything that we do it's dual path. So you know that if the power's out, the internet's out, right? So we're still going to communicate via cellular when the Wi-Fi's down. Okay, so and then we have a battery backup. And speaking 100% from experience, our battery backup lasted 4 days, um, just after Milton, right? So
Wow.
I guess the nice thing with that is, right, besides having someone like you to come check on your house when you're not here, nobody wants to stay in a house without power, right? I mean, unless you're a fan of camping or something, want to rough it, right? You
So,
know, but your system will send you an alert when the power comes back on at home.
okay.
Um, so you can kind of wait it out and trust that the system's going to let you know.
Yeah.
Um, so your house will still be secured, right? And in the instance that you're coming out to check on the house, even the door locks and everything like that will still operate, right? Remotely
Okay.
and push button. But the system is very intuitive, and the battery backups, you're not left high and dry pretty much. You're home secured, and the peace of mind thing comes back.
Yeah. And the other piece of mind for me is I'm very restricted to where I can actually go post storm, because there's a lot of areas that are completely tied off. Like you can't access the islands after a storm without
Mhm.
identification and showing proof that you actually live on the islands. I don't live on those islands. So I would have to wait until that availability opens up to the public to be able to access those. So it could be as much as like a week that I wouldn't be able to even access. And then there's other areas where we have trees that come down, and that's a big part of the area where I live in because I'm just east of the interstate. So out here it's a little bit more quiet, rural. We have a lot of mature landscaping out here. Right around the corner is like right down the street from my neighborhood is a neighborhood called Shadow Oaks.
Mhm.
We have oak trees that you have to beg the county for a permit to be able to trim them or take them down. And so we're talking about hardy, sizable trees. And when those break and fall into the road, it also creates, you know, an area where I can't reach,
Mhm.
I can't access. So with limited access, I feel it's so important to have home security on everybody's home. In my opinion, I think absolutely everybody should have home security. So what would you say to those that feel like they don't necessarily need it, or maybe they're closing on a property soon? I would love to introduce them to you. What would be some ways that you would think would persuade them over not choosing to get that right away?
I would go back to, peace of mind, and just speaking from personal experience. I was a police officer for 21 years before I started doing this. And every one of my houses, I've had home security, right? So it's when you're home, for me, I sleep better, right? And then when you're not home, it's the little things like, did I lock the door? You can go to your app and confirm that the door was locked. I can't tell you how many times I've had to drive back home to make sure the garage was
The garage
closed.
door every
Yes,
time. It's
uh,
always the garage door.
it's always. And with this system, you can
Yeah,
confirm it's closed without coming back. I mean, I have kids and everything's always 100 miles an hour, and you know, you're always running late somewhere, and you don't need that extra trip to come back home and, confirm that, things are locked and shut and
sure.
even turned off. Like we have smart plugs that, like if you have an iron plugged in or something, I know they all turn off on their own, but
Sure.
you can confirm through that smart plug that that device was turned off. Um, but as far as, yeah, I mean, insurance carriers, some of them require like fire protection,
Sure.
which, by code, everything has smoke detectors, right? So typically we would add a monitored smoke detector to whatever house that we install a system in. So you're covered for burglar and fire in your homeowner's insurance's eyes, right? Um, just to kind of go down that road, as cool as a smoke detector can be, if it's tied into your HVAC system, which, our thermostats are, um, God forbid there was ever smoke in someone's house, the panel would send notification to the HVAC and shut everything off. So it's not taking smoke from one area of the house to the other,
And the other
right? So,
fire.
and then it even goes, you can set it up where you want your pathway illuminated out of the house and your door unlocked. So in the midst of chaos, um, it makes life a little bit easier. Um, but the peace of mind stuff, I mean, if you're not here, it's always on your mind. What's up? What's going on with my house? If you have contractors working in and out of there, you can confirm that doors are locked and, the system's armed when they leave. Like even, leaving to the air. We used to do the back and forth until I retired. And, there's nothing worse than, getting in an Uber and going to the airport and say, did we shut off the water? Did we shut off the lights?
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. So good things. It sounds like you guys are doing really well. You guys have a fabulous product. I'm very, very interested to at least be able to pitch this to people well before the closing because I feel like once the closings happen, everybody's real tired of spending money at that point. We're like, I'm over it. You've asked me for inspection, survey, everything. We've already paid out the wahoo. We've had to pay our deposit, our closing costs. Like we're done. We're done spending money for a while. So when
Yeah.
is a normal good time to introduce you to people for me to work with? Would you normally wait for them to close on a house and get settled in, kind of figure things out? Or is this something that you would prefer to have an earlier conversation before, they get tired while they're still in the spending mood? Let's just say that.
I'm easy. I kind of, I whenever anyone wanted me to come out, whatever someone's comfortable with, right? You know, during a showing, I know it's probably, they want eyes on the house. I would come back for, I don't know, a second visit or something before they close, after they close, you know, pretty much whenever. I try to make life easy, you
Sure.
know, you know. Um, but like you
What
said,
do you love about Sarasota? I know that you haven't been here for very long, or in the area, I should say, in the Sarasota area. But what brought you down here?
I've always wanted to live in Florida. Um, it as a kid, we used to come down to Florida. I'm a Dolphins fan. I know they're probably not popular with a lot of people, but I've always loved Florida: palm trees, beaches, the ocean. I just had to wait till my time was up at the police department, and 2019 we bought a place down here, and our first visit to the West Coast was Siesta Key, right?
Okay, okay.
And once you go there, it's kind of hard to,
Welcome to my world. Yep.
it's there's
It's hard.
really, so we were kind of hooked, and and then 2023, 22, I think it
22,
was,
I think was Ian.
yes. So 22, we moved down here full time, and it's there, never get the urge to go back up north.
Sure. Okay.
No.
Okay. We're done. We're over that.
I had enough cold and gray, and
So tell me again where we are from. It was Connecticut, yeah?
Connecticut. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was a earlier discussion that we had because I do have a lot of people from Connecticut that end up coming down here. And in fact, my it's my husband's sister has family up there, and their origination is from Long Island, so they have a lot of family in Long Island. So it wasn't much difference going to Connecticut for them. And I have to say, like as a longtime Floridian, these are my vacation spots. Like I need to have the four seasons, so I'm
Yeah.
always looking to go somewhere cold, somewhere that doesn't look like here, somewhere with a little more terrain. But
It's
yeah,
nice to visit.
it
It's
is.
nice to visit.
It
That's
is
about
nice
it.
to visit.
You
And
know.
honestly, that's the only thing I've ever done. So I can't say otherwise. I've never lived there long term, so I've never shoveled snow for, well, if I ever have, it's been a pleasure. And it was a moment where I was like, I did it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's a chore that I want to take on before I have
No.
to leave every single time. So yeah, I do commend those that live up there. I can't do it. It's a little too bitter and cold for me. But yeah, being raised as a Floridian, I have to say I share your same opinion with Siesta Key. It's like you go to Siesta and then you go to a beach in Virginia because you're visiting family there as well, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
This sucks.
You can't see in the water, right?
Can't
It's
see anything. It's like really rough out at sea. It's cold.
mm,
I'm like, what are we? This is a terrible experience. But yeah, I just nothing compares unless the scenery is like Fiji or you're on the
yes.
Mexican coast. Just there's beautiful trains around the beach. I'd still love to go to Costa Rica, but those are the types of beaches that I think like should be making the top lists
Hmm.
It's so funny to me just being born and raised around here, like Sarasota. What?
You get spoiled.
Why
Right? Yeah.
Sarasota, everybody? Like it's just what I've known my whole life. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like I don't get it. In time you get it when you start traveling. But thank you so much for being here and speaking about your company and your brand and what you offer. And I will definitely be sharing this video with a lot of my followers and new people that I'm working with, and I hope that people can understand that, insurance and security should go hand in hand. It shouldn't be we have the home insured, so therefore we don't really need security. And I wish more people would get more involved with securing their home in other ways. So thank you so much for coming on here and
No problem. Thanks for the invitation.
absolutely, it was a pleasure. It was, these things happen. You meet somebody
Yeah.
out in the wild, and
Everything happens for a reason, right?
yes,
You know. So
agreed. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and we'll be in touch.
yes, thank you, Kelly.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I'll leave all of his details below here in the description so that you can reach out to him and schedule your appointment for him to come out here to your property. He can give you estimates. You can see what packages that they offer online as well at guardianprotection.com. Thank you so much again, Teddy. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.